In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use a few tools. We're going to use live surfaces. We're going to use lofting. We're going to use cutting out of curves or detaching to create these details here. So let's go ahead and zoom in so you can see. So we're going to go ahead and create all these details here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do that tube in the back. So let's go ahead and get that done. On yours, by the way, you don't have this piece right here. So what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and make that. This is actually pretty easy to make. So all I did was I went to isoparm. I hate when that happens. Isoparm. And we're going to duplicate this curve. So let's go ahead and we're going to bring it out about, I don't know, about there. And we're going to go to your curves and then duplicate surface curve. Then modify center pivot. Scale it up. Should be okay. Now what you can do is you can take this isoparm, or take this curve, isoparm, shift select the curve. It's annoying. Curve, isoparm, surfaces loft. Go to loft and use the same settings I have. Okay, it's good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to isoparm, isoparm, and what we'll do is this. We're going to select this, and surfaces loft. So that closes it up. Looks good. Okay, and then you could just go ahead and go to surfaces, reverse direction. It's not exactly like this one, but it works. Hit up. Actually, let's hit both. Control G. And modify center pivot. Bring it forward a little bit. All right, let's go to Edit. Delete all by type history before we do that. Okay, now let's move it forward. There we go. Okay, now we're just going to go to Hull. I'm going to grab this hull and just move it back. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Okay, we can get rid of that curve. Hit up, assign existing material. Let's go ahead and put a blend on there. This looks cool. You can get rid of that. All right, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and look at our painting again. Let's go ahead and build some of these square details here. The way we're going to do this is we're going to click on the surface and we're going to click this button. This says make the selected object live. Basically, it converts it to a surface where we draw on. Let me explain. So we're going to go to Create, CV Curve Tool. It doesn't have to be exactly like the picture. So let's do a small one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you see how this is rounded? We don't want a rounded surface, so let's delete that. Go to Create CV Curve Tool option. We want to make it linear because we want it square. Okay, so put 1 here, hold Shift, 2, 3, 4, and then hit V, and it'll snap right there. Hit Enter. Okay, and this looks good. So we're going to turn the live surface off. You'll notice that it makes the curve right on it, which is nice. And we can move it on the surface too, which is neat. And we're going to go to Curves, and we're going to go to Duplicate Surface Curve. Modify Center Pivot. We're just going to bring it up a little bit, because what we're trying to do is get a little bit of that detail there, okay? So we're going to hit Control D again, and we're going to scale it in a little. And let's do our lofting. So, surfaces loft. We're going to go to isoparm. and then go to isoparm again. Okay, this is annoying. All right, let's try this again. All right, isoparm, then surfaces loft. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then if you want to get kind of creative with it here, we could take this, Control D, move it in a bit, and scale it in. We're going to actually move it right inside to about there. Okay, now go to isoparm and surfaces loft again, and get that nice detail there. You can go in there and delete the curves if you want. So what we could do is we could turn the surfaces off here, which is there. So highlight. There we go. Got rid of the surfaces. That looks cool. And we could do another one. So we're going to go ahead and basically repeat this process 2 more times. So we're going to select this. First, turn that on. Select this. Make it live. Draw a big curve on it this time. And hold V to snap. Hit enter. Okay, that looks good. Now turn off the live surface. And this curve is on the surface, which is really neat. So just go to NURB. Okay, now can I duplicate this? No. We have to go to Surfaces, Curves, Duplicate Surface Curve, Modify Center Pivot. It's weird. It treats that not as an individual curve, even though you drew it as one. It's just how Maya does it. It's kind of weird, but it's how this tool works. So we're going to hit Control D again, scale it in. Okay, let's do some lofting. We'll do one more. Control D, scale it in again, and bring it down to about there. Okay, so we're going to actually go in order here. Watch what we're going to do. Let me try lofting these together and see what happens. So that's the first one. That's the second one. That's the third one. That's the last one. And then surfaces loft. And my Maya crashed. Not good. All right. So you could do it. If you get that issue, you have to do it individually. My computer isn't so great, so Maya will crash sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and bring the video back. Okay, it looks like the file is recovered here. So we're going to take this thing and reverse the direction. Okay, it looks cool. That looks good. And then we have this one here. So what we're going to do is grab all 3. That should be good, actually. Hit Control G to group it. Control D to duplicate it. Modify center pivot. And we're just going to take it and move it over here. Now you could go through the same process again to make the shape, but with my computer I'm having issues with crashing, so I think this may crash on me if I try it again. So I can double click here. I'm going to go to world. Make my life a little easier. All right. So I kind of have something here. I don't like the way that looks though. I like the way these two look. So let me go ahead and delete that. We'll try it again, see what happens. Go ahead and make it live. You might want to go ahead and just save this. Just say increment and save real quick, in case it crashes on you. We're going to use an EP curve tool. Maybe it won't crash that way. Go to linear. And I'm just going to hold V to snap. Hit enter. So what's really neat about the live surface, it'll, contour to that surface, which is great. Now take that off. And we're going to go to your curves and duplicate surface curve. Modify center pivot. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Okay, we're just going to loft one at a time here. Surfaces loft option. We're going to reset this tool. Okay, and we want it linear. See, it crashes again. I don't know why it keeps crashing with that. I don't know if yours is crashing. Don't know what the issue with that is. So I'm going to just pause the video and bring it up again. Okay, so I went ahead and I opened the file back up, and it worked. I guess it's just sort of a, sort of a crapshoot if this thing's going to work or not. So these look pretty good. This one looks like maybe it's not quite as big as the other two, or maybe it's a little too far away. So you want to take it and move it a little. All right, that works. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and select all this. It's all one surface, looks good. Select these guys. And these look good. We're going to go to Edit, Delete All by Type History. Okay, looks fine. No glaring errors occurred. Hit Control G. Take your Move tool, hit Modify Center Pivot. Okay, hit Insert. We want to go about right here. And we're going to go to Edit, Duplicate Special option. And we're going to put -1 in for X and click Duplicate Special. Okay. By moving the pivot point over, that enables me to duplicate right over that pivot. So we don't have to go through and make it on the other side. So this is looking pretty good. And what you might want to do is assign existing material. Let's go ahead and throw Lambert on there. Hit up. Assign existing material, throw the blend on there rather. Okay, so it looks pretty good. I don't like this here. I'm not a big fan of how that just ends. I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to Modify Center Pivot. Where are we? Modify Center Pivot. I'm going to bring this out and down like this. I'm going to go to isoparm. Go to isoparm. Delete it, Control Z. I have an old computer I'm working with at home, so that's why I'm getting all these issues. I'm assuming if I had a newer machine, I wouldn't get this. Surfaces loft, but before I loft, I probably want to save it. I'm just going to increment and save real quick. This is the kind of stuff that really slows down your workflow. Okay. And assign existing material. Assign existing material. I just like the way that looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more in line with the rest. So that'll end the video for now that we have the nice detail on the helmet. It's kind of coming together. In the next video, we'll make the tubes and go from there.